Hello and welcome to Center Circle. I am Jermaine Brown. Steve Bucknor has served Jamaica in sports in two arenas, football and cricket. Many know him as a cricket umpire, but Bucknor also played national junior football and even turned down invitations to the senior team. This week, we feature the Cornwall College stalwart. From humble beginnings to worldwide acclaim, Steve Bucknor played his part in Jamaica and the world when it came to sports. Bucknor wore many hats from a youth to an adult, which made him one of Jamaica's greatest sons.
I would believe so. I would believe so because I have done a lot of things. I've done many things and I believe that I did them reasonably well. Others would say that they were done very well. I won't comment on that part, but I believe I have done reasonably well and the name is out there as a football referee, as a cricket umpire.
Bucknor was a rounded student athlete while attending Cornwall College, as he played football as a goalkeeper, did the high jump and long jump in athletics, and was also a cricketer.
And I was captain of all three of them at some stage. Anyhow, my take, once I reached Cornwall, I was in Jackson House, and right away, they said, Bucknor, we have match tomorrow. I said, what do you mean? They said, you're a goalkeeper. I said, where you get that from? They said, no man, we hear about you from boys' school. You're playing Division 3. No, I couldn't tell a big boy, so I'm not playing. And I went down there and I believe I did fairly well. Me being the skinniest and the youngest of the lot playing against boys 2, 3, 4 years older than myself. They said, well, you have done well. You are going to be the goalkeeper for Division 3. And that is where it started, house football at Cornwall.
How did the cricket part start though?
As a youngster, I played a lot of cricket on the street that I grew up. I lived at Paradise Row, and we play on the street, on the sidewalk, we play a lot of games. Over library, a lot of games. So I tried for Division 3. I couldn't bowl, I couldn't bat, but I was enthusiastic enough that I became the fielder who would save most boundaries. You call it long stop, behind the wicket keeper, because the keeper was not stopping many balls. So I was stopping them for him. And then once I left Division 3 and came to Division 2, we played on the concrete and I realized that batting was a lot easier on the concrete. And from there, I made my way up to the Headley Cup team.
And you mentioned that you were the skinniest and tallest at the time, so I think that's the reason why they identify you to be a jumper.
It's not really being identified, but once house sport is going on, people are told that you are going to do this, you're going to do that. I couldn't sprint. I run all day, but I can't sprint. So I tried high jump, and I tried other events. Got a few points from my house, and they were satisfied with that.
So you're going through school now, and you have to be balancing all of this along with your books. How did you do that?
Well, I tried my best, I did a lot of schoolwork during break time, lunch time, after school, before I go on the play field. I do a lot of work outside of my home. I had to go library on a weekend, on a Saturday. I did most work outside of my home. But I did a lot of work on the premises. And if I can say it, I did a lot of studying on the play field. Under the almond tree, you see, at Cornwall, and across Albion Road, under that big tree, I would sit down there and do a lot of reading. I was happy on the play field. Nobody to disturb us. So that is how I did my thing.
What about the support from your parents at the time?
I had one parent support because I live with my mother. And it was a case of willing me on to that you need to do well in school, you need to do well in school. So I try my best to do as good as possible. I did reasonably well because for those who don't know, I left school at grade 13. So if I left school at grade 13, it must have meant that I did something good enough from grade 11 to go to grade 12. But why persons would believe that it is only sports. I was a prefect in grade 13, so I was a nice enough boy to become prefect, to become captain of all 3 sports. I could not have been that bad.
And Bucknor's work as a goalkeeper did not go unnoticed back then.
I was a national under-19 schoolboy goalkeeper in 1964. Brazil came touring the Caribbean, and the only game that Brazil drew was against Jamaica all schools. I was a goalkeeper. The 16th of December 1964, I kept goal for Jamaica. And afterwards, I was at Boy Scout at the same time. And on 2 occasions, I was called for the national squad, and I turned it down. The question, where's the job? Where am I going to stay? Where's the job? Because you go to Kingston and you stay with a friend or a relative. But I said, no, I'm not giving up my job for national football. It's not like now where you may get a few dollars from football. In those days, there was nothing at all on football. The expenses were yours. I can't be leaving Montego Bay to go to Kingston, because in those days you had to play in Kingston to play national football, and I was called from the country. So it would have meant going up on numerous occasions to go for training.
Without a dollar?
Without a dollar, my pocket. The dollar would be coming from my pocket. And I turned it down on 2 occasions.
And while he was involved in sports as a cricketer and a footballer, Bucknor eventually started officiating in both sports, as he was an umpire and a referee by age 26.
I didn't want to go and officiate. Only I continued playing until in the 30s when I was kicked somewhere in my thigh. Then I said, stop playing and go and officiate only. So it was really an accident that brought me to my senses, say stop playing, because I might have gone a little bit farther earlier had I been officiating earlier in my life.
You did 2 games on the same day at high level, the Premier League final at National Stadium and a test match at Savannah Park.
It was madness, real madness, but since I was selected, that was the case. The information came late on the football. I knew about the cricket many days before, but not the football. But I would have played cricket one Saturday, leave the cricket match to go and play at Albion, played midfield for White House Youth Club and scoring 3 goals. Go back Sunday, made 100 runs and took another 5 wicket all. So that would have been my glorious weekend. 5 wickets, 4 wickets, 5 wickets, 100 runs, 3 goals. I had the energy to do that.
I know it's kind of hectic these days compared to back then, but why are we not seeing more people doubling up like that?
Football has taken over to the extent that people believe that if I'm a footballer, it's football only. It's only in the schools that you will see, but not many persons in the schools right now double. Not many footballers do anything else because they think they are football minded, but the big reason, I believe, we had 3 terms. September, football term. January, track and field. So when you go PE in January, February, you're going to be on the track running or jumping. And in May, it is cricket. So when you go PE, you play cricket. So there was a term per sport, and that is what you did. Today, you see a football every day. There was a term for table tennis. Cornwall also played hockey. So there was a term for each sport, and that is how it went. So many persons did many sports, not Bucknor alone, you know, a lot of persons. For example, Billy Griffiths, you may not know him. Good runner, jumper. Played cricket for Cornwall, and right after Cornwall, St. James. Played football for Cornwall, and during his time at Cornwall, played for Jamaica. That was how good he was. And if he was interested in swimming, he would have made a swimming team. But too many sports, so there was not enough time to do so many things.
When we return, we pick Steve Bucknor's brain about which sport was his first choice.